Hey, it's Ido. So I think you remember where we headed into this forest with, I think there were a gnome or something. We found the question box and I asked it a question about my father, and it was fine. Anyway, we were supposed to bring it back to the Emperor until this monkey stole it right off my back. Can you believe that? Anyway, we chased him down in a sick chase sequence. I'm not gonna lie, it was awesome. And it turned out he's actually a hobgoblin called Mole, who can transform into animals. And he works for Amnesty, you know, that one guy who, I totally know, and the rest of my friends don't know, so I felt really cool about that. But anyway, we got the box back from him, and we made it back in time for the funeral. And I definitely did not cry during the speech, so, nice.
Kia ora everybody, and welcome to the terrible adventures of the Jansen Breathitt's Parchment Company. Episode 22, Smoko 4, bit of a stretch and a walk around. My name is Penny D, I am your DM, and if I could cast one D&D spell, just as part of my, natural ability set, I would pick Tense's Floating Disc, because I hate carrying shit. And it's just a little platform that follows me around, I can put stuff on it. You know, if you want to hang out with me, you don't want to walk, you just hop on the platform. If I go shopping, I don't need any man to carry my parcels around, just put them on the platform.
I don't know, I quite like a man to carry my parcels around.
Yeah.
I wonder if I ran sideways, I could behead people with it if I went fast enough.
Oh wow. A new and interesting use of Tense's Floating Disc.
Yeah, essentially just like a floating disc behind me that I would find ways to cheat.
How can I follow that? Hi, I'm Nate. I play Flynn, the halfling bard, and your favourite salesperson, hopefully. And I would choose comprehend languages, because I think I'd make bank as an interpreter, and I'm all about accessibility. And I'd love to swap jokes with people, no matter what their base language is. It'd be awesome.
My name's Liz, and I play Karen, your favourite dwarven barbarian, and local dwarven cheese expert. If I could cast any spell in D&D, I would cast Speak with Animals, because I want to know what on earth my cat is talking about at 3 a.m. in the morning. I just want to know.
I can tell you he's hungry and bored.
But I want to tell him, shut up, in cat.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and I play Frankie, the now official artificer. If I could cast any spell, it would have to be Wish, so then I could just cast any spell.
Are you okay with that being, though, literally the first time you do it might be the only time you get to cast it?
I mean, yeah, but that's just my luck. Of okay, I'll have this wish forever. I'll cast it on a cantrip or something random, and then never be able to do it. And that I feel that's my luck as a person. So
high risk, possible high reward.
I actually think that Tense's Floating Disc is actually better than Wish, because I'd never lose that. Also, it's level 1, so I cast it a bunch of times per day.
That's true.
Technically superior spell to Wish.
But I don't know. What if somebody you love died when they should
put their body on the disc, take him around with you.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Morbid.
My God.
Hi, I am Poppy. I play Ido, the tiefling rogue. And it doesn't sound as original now, but I would take tongues. Because one of my dreams, languages are way too hard to learn, but I would love to understand anyone. That would just be so nice. It'd open up so many more opportunities. And I'm sure that people are talking about such interesting things in their own language.
But on the other hand, I can talk to my cat.
Yeah, but I know that animals love me.
All right. Well, this isn't a D&D podcast. It's a D&D podcast. So, what do you say we all play some Dungeons and Dragons and do a little bit of a Smoko episode?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Let's do it.
It's the next morning following the funeral. You finally got to sleep in your rooms at the old pickle jar, and everybody except Frankie is enjoying a nice cooked breakfast in the dining area. It's around 7:30 a.m. Idopher, just roll me a quick charisma save for you, please, bud.
Oh God, really?
You're tired.
I guess I am. That would be 7.
Idopher, you realise that the question box isn't in its proper place. You need to put it back. It simply does not belong in the case that you have it in, and the spot where you found it is a much more fitting place.
Oh man. Hey guys, I'm just gonna nip out for a quick walk. I'll be back in a bit.
What are you doing with my suitcase there, darling?
I don't know, I just thought like having some extra weight would, help me build some muscle.
Well, that's good, but not with my suitcase. It's very expensive, and I don't need it rattling around on the ground. So if you can just bring that back, please.
No. And he
Yes.
walks out.
Karen's definitely going to go straight after him. Take that back.
Cool, so roll a contested strength check.
Sure.
Good God.
Well, that's a 12 from Karen. She's
Mine's
not...
a 3.
Okay.
Karen, you take the suitcase with the question box, like you grab it from Idopher and take it from him. Idopher, now that it's out of your position, the urge to return the box to the dice fades.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Karen. Here you go.
What was that about, darling?
I think I might just be a bit hungry.
You're in the middle of breakfast.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. I've walked away from the table, so I'm gonna walk back to the table and just get back into breakfast.
Okay, well, sort those emotions out while you're still young, darling. So it's okay. You're still learning, and sooner or later you'll find out the difference between
He's stopped
needing
listening by now.
to have a walk and okay, bye. Well,
Flynn just holding into some pancakes. What was that?
Frankie, you weren't at breakfast because you were at the Artifice Supply Store. As Quisp asked you to do. You're in the bottom floor at the Gezdark display part of the Artifice shop. You're sitting on the ground and making a warforged arm out of toilet rolls and wire.
Yep.
Quisp was pleased that you made the time to go over and see them.
Of course. I hope we, can remain friends and correspond with each other once I leave. I'd really appreciate it.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Are we just going to write letters the old-fashioned way, or should we invent ways to send messages back and forth, or?
Okay. Yes and yes. So the old-fashioned way, but we invent ways of writing letters and sending them.
I love this. This is going to be so fun.
Great. This is gonna be great.
I was wondering if I could ask you a favor.
Yeah, sure.
That compass I gave you, do you think that you could... I want to see it go around the world. I'd love to know what else it can find.
Well, I plan on not staying at the paper factory all my life, if you know what I mean.
I actually do, because it's fairly obvious. There's no metaphor there.
You're right. I just feel like with this newfound vigor I have for inventing, I could go anywhere, and I'm only here for now because I feel I've got an obligation. But as soon as that obligation's done, hey, we could travel.
The world is your oyster, young man.
Yes.
You're already a better inventor than me.
Oh, no, don't
And
say
how old are you? You're 17?
22.
Does your type of human not grow facial hair, or?
I just find the cleaner look is better because, I don't have beards and hairs getting into...
I suppose you would have to think that.
Frankie wells up a little bit.
Frankie gets roasted.
I didn't come here to be roasted.
Quisp is it's gentle ribbing. Quisp is has enjoyed making a new friend.
Quisp is
currently
razzing
wrapping little cardboard bits to make the fingers and the. You guys are doing a little arts and crafts project together while you banter.
Hey, Quisp, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have any spare eyeglasses around, would you? I want to make something for a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Aisle 4, right down the end on the bottom.
Oh yeah, cool. Thanks.
Just take them. It's fine. You don't need to.
Thanks. I was gonna leave some back. But yeah, they're cool. Quest. Frankie tries to think of something razzy to say, but he's too sensitive and his feelings are hurt, so he's just gonna, weakly on the shoulder, just
Chummy fist.
yes.
Quick actually comes with you, like down the aisle, like,
Thanks.
pointing out like cute stuff and like these are my favorite type of screw and things like that.
Cool. I actually like the 3/4 inch myself, but these are just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a chunk bolt. That's what they're called. I know tools.
What's your favorite screwdriver?
A flathead?
Yes, same.
Is that a real one?
That is a real one, yes.
Nice. I did it.
So sometimes I like Phillips, but flatheads just get
They
in
just
there.
hit different.
And that's just I just like that band.
Because sometimes when you're using the Phillips, you catch the thread and then it just
That's true.
pulls the whole out. Flathead, nice and straightforward. Turn it, it's done.
I've got at least 7 flatheads in various sizes. You can't go wrong with a flathead.
Invented by Mrs. Beatrice Flathead, just like the Phillips was invented by Mr. Phillips Phillips.
I'd like to imagine that would have been like something Frankie would have said, yeah, it was invented by Flat McGee.
It was invented by Flathead Jones.
Yeah.
So, if you do ever see some creepy bastard stretched out like gum, would you let me know who they are? I would like to get them with my cheese grater.
Yes. Yeah, that cheese grater though. Yeah, I definitely would. When I get home, I'm gonna go into my kitchen and I'm gonna pack my cheese grater so I can always have it, just in case, just for you, Chris.
That's a good lad. Be careful out there. Brum the Wizard was no joke.
No.
He was a powerful person. Once upon a time, him and all his friends followed a warrior called Uzziah Jet to the end of the world. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what they did, but one day he came back and he was a changed person.
Listening intently. Oh, don't say.
I only met Uzziah once or twice. Seemed like an interesting person.
I've heard, yes.
Very motivated.
Motivated, that's a good word to use, yes.
Yeah. Frankie, you've leveled up to level 6. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your level up and what that includes this time around?
So, because when we first started playing this, Artificial was not official. It was still UA, and it is now official. I can't say the word now.
Legit.
It's legit now. I've had to do a little bit of rearranging with my spells and stuff, but it's all good. So now I get not much, so it's like just double proficiency on any checks I get with tools, and I can make 2 random elixirs each day as opposed to 1. So look out for that.
Is there anything major that you don't have anymore that you used to have?
No, I thought I didn't get Flaming Spear, but I do. And that was the one that I really liked because I like the mechanics I made for it. So
Cool.
yeah.
What was the thing about hands?
Hands. Oh yeah. Hands is
Infusion?
infusion. Yes, that's right. He's an infusion and not just something I get, but that just means I can't make as many infusions because I'll always have him as one of my infusions I've picked.
But you are sort of just keeping him as he is?
Yeah, he'll be there. There are no changes to him unless, something happens to him, and then I have to make a new one. It'll be Hans 2.0, and it might be slightly more creepy or less creepy depending on how you see him.
Would you like to ask anything else of Quisp or make any plans with Quisp before you head out of town?
No, just we'll keep in touch. I'll give Chris my address. Here's my address. You should start the correspondence. And then I'll try and see what you make, and then see if I could get, and then we'll just go from there.
I will get to Invetin.
Get to Invetin. I can't wait.
They hand you a small bag with 100 gold in it.
Ooh.
And ask you to split that with your friends. And said, this is all I can pay you. I know for you big city folk, it's not much, but I think that you deserve it for, everything that you've done for me.
Thanks, Crisp.
I'll see you around, Frankie.
I'll see you around.
That is so sweet from Crisp, especially because Frankie is like
I make that in a week.
oaky, smoky poor.
Yes.
How can he be poor? He makes the same amount of money that you do.
It's true, but Karen comes from money.
Yeah.
And all of Frankie's money goes on his dad's alcohol habit.
That's true,
Or his
like-
addiction.
Like, he doesn't have a lot of money.
So very true. I imagine he probably has some debts to pay off.
Yeah.
So by mid-morning, you're back on the road. Janderson seems lighter, less burdened. He chuckles excitedly about the Maureen Oakfell Trust, and he hopes that naming it after Barb's daughter won't be taken the wrong way.
Oh my god, that's what it was.
Oh,
I don't think so. I think it's very good to bring attention to the specific people that are affected by certain people in our society. It's her name, it's a story that happened to her, and everything that this foundation is doing is to make sure that nothing like that happens again to other young women.
I'm going to need a little help. I'm setting up a brand new foundation. I have a bunch of money to put into a trust, and I'm going to need people that I can trust to help me distribute it. I'm not quite sure yet who to put in charge of a large, account of money to give away, because I want to make sure it's someone that I know is going to do the right thing. If anyone wants to apply for that kind of job, be sure to let me know.
I'd love to write some policies and procedures for you to help direct the people to use it to be the best they can.
That sounds excellent, Finvar. We'll talk some more about that a little later. I'm going to write up front for a little bit, just on the way back to Bullswell. I know I've already said it, but thank you all so much for being here. It's been a trip.
Oh, you can say that again.
And thank you very much for inviting us to spend time with your family and join you during this time.
Oh, that reminds me. And he pulls out a couple of hot pies that his mum prepared and hands them out. Small pies for the trip. Karen,
Sweet or savoury?
Karen, you bite into yours and yours has ribs in it, and you get the feeling that even you only met her yesterday, his mum is definitely making fun of you in some way.
Well, not a usual flavour or sensation for a pie, but it's very good. And she daintily puts a rib out the window and just kind of the bone and just kind of drops it.
What's wrong?
It's just bones. It's biodegradable.
We left dead T-Rex around. I'm sure it's not.
Exactly.
That night, you stay in Bullswell again. Stays mostly uneventful, except for Karen. The next morning, you attempt to hire a cart back to Ixingmere. Before the rest of you realize what's happening, you exchange the bag again. Who takes it this time?
Okay, sure. It's this awkward silence. Yeah, I'll help with the bag. So I'll help to carry stuff because I've got.
So, just everybody roll me a quick Arcana check.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know nothing about our coroner. That's a 4 from Karen.
That's a not natural 20.
Nice.
Oh.
Same.
That's a 4.
Okay, so the smart people,
Actual magic users.
Frankie and Flynn, pretty much judging by the times that this happened, because Flynn was around the first time, after 24 hours of holding being in possession of the question box, the bearer is overcome by the urge to return it to its dais. It seems to be like a built-in curse of some kind. Definitely lines up with what Dearwain already told you about it.
Like a compulsion.
Yeah. Karen, when it happens to you, it didn't feel out of the ordinary at all. You were like, oh, cool, time to take the thing back.
Yeah.
There was nothing to fight. It was just like, oh, I'm just going about my business.
Well, see you later. I'm just going back to Ixnir real quick.
Yeah.
And,
And so the rest of you guys kind of figured out what was happening. And so now you're prepared for it. You know that tomorrow morning you're going to have to take it from Flynn. Otherwise he's going to try and go back. Yeah. So after one final day of travel, you find yourself back in Yamir City late on Friday afternoon. Janison himself is dropped off first, and he asks the cartman to take you wherever in the city you'd like to go. You're currently in the North District, not too far from the palace, so you're welcome to go there as your first errand.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
Get rid
Were
of
we
that.
were we supposed to go to the palace to drop it off? I don't actually.
The note said you have to take it to the palace.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I guess I forgot.
Can I just rewind a bit as just to make it thing? So while we were traveling, I would be doing one of my infusions with the glasses to make what it only takes an hour to make Eyes of Charming.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
So you created an Eyes of Charming item?
Yes.
Can you send me the specs for that?
Yes, I will.
The specs for the spectacles.
Oh, we have fun.
We're not tired.
So you guys head to the palace. Emperor Tiberius' palace is, as expected, the most opulent building in the entire city. The compound that the palace is in is surrounded by a large spiked wall, and in the very center, the marble and sapphire towers glint garishly, decreeing a level of wealth and power that none of you could even fathom. And you get there, and you're looking through the big cage gate, and you're kind of like, well, fuck, now what?
Yeah.
Karen clears her throat and she says, my name's Karen Stonecutter.
Who are you talking to?
Just yelling at the palace. My name's Karen Stonecutter. I'm here on official business with my associates. We have been summoned.
Behind you, you hear someone say,
Oh,
sitting across the street from the palace entrance in a grand cafe sits a beautiful, exceptionally pale woman smirking at you knowingly. She's dressed a little out of place for what's probably the most expensive real estate in the city. She's wearing a black hoodie and running shoes and like tights and stuff.
What?
Somehow though, on her they seem kind of trendy. Her dark eyes seem very familiar, especially to you, Idopher.
oh, it's the administrator, isn't it?
It's not the administrator.
Oh,
Is it the assassin?
Roll me insight check.
We got a good look at that lady. Oh.
All of us?
Yeah.
No.
12.
11.
4.
Unnatural 20.
Yeah, Idopher, it's the assassin.
Yeah.
You recognize her, you know her eyes.
I'm just like,
A lot in your dreams.
Across the street from where like the palace entrance is, there's this like beautiful like, you know, if I say a French cafe, do you guys know what I mean
We know
by
what you
that?
mean.
Yeah.
Like a Paris city street cafe, beautiful place, and she's just sitting at a table out the front, just waiting for you, and she's just smiling at you, and she's like, well, do you have it?
I'm gonna have to stand, I'm gonna like kind of hang back a bit, because last time.
Don't be shy, sit down for a bit.
Down for a bit, and Frankie like.
Sit down for a moment, put the bag on the table, let's all just have a second.
Or we could just drop it off and leave.
The assassin sits sipping her tea, smirking at you all, and just maintaining eye contact with you.
Flynn's gonna sit down and then order a really expensive coffee on her table.
She like kind of smiles at the like gusto that it takes to operate with such bravado.
Well, you ordered and we delivered. One question box, signed and sealed.
Put the bag on the table, will you?
Flynn?
They kind of like look at your suitcase like, ooh, okay, tacky fashion, but all right.
What do you want from us? Good God.
Is a plain black suitcase. It's my funeral suitcase.
she doesn't like it. But she keeps sipping her tea. She doesn't really say anything else to you. She just like keeps looking at you or like just maintaining eye contact with each of you. She finishes the cup. She gets up. She picks up her own handbag and looks inside of it. Ooh. Silver, thanks you for your service. Have a terrible day, Dinkuses. And she takes a couple of steps away, and then she turns around and she says, oh, and Mrs. Stonecutter, I owe you an axe wound. Smell you later, peasants. And she gets up, like, flops a bag over her shoulder, and just, like, walks off down the street, not a care in the world.
What a bitch.
I sincerely hate that woman.
Inside check, everyone, inside check on Idopher.
Well, I mean, that's a 10, but I think that's enough.
No, yeah, I got a 6 too.
Idopher, are you telling the truth?
You can get hate bonus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there comes a time in every young man's life when he hates the woman that he also
Okay,
wants.
so did she even take the box?
No, she took her own handbag.
Yeah.
Flynn, you pick up the suitcase, and it's like, significantly heavier.
Oh, I need. Okay, this is. I might need help carrying this around.
Oh, what
What
she?
could possibly be? And Ido tries and says, "Oh, what?
Oh, what she
What's
put
in
in it?
there?"
You look inside, and it's got 5,000 gold and a very tidy note decreeing payment for a task well done. Like the same handwriting as was on the initial note.
Oh my god! And I quickly close the bag and be like, "We should probably go somewhere else with."
Can I fit the whole bag in the? Like, can I?
You can just put the gold in the bag of holding, it's fine. Like
Okay.
you have money is essentially like,
So it's 5,000.
yeah, 5,000 gold between the four of you.
Do you guys want to put your own shares into the bag of holding so you can get them out?
Yes, please.
So you just stand on the side of the road at this French cafe counting gold coins
No.
and adding them to a magical like other dimension that you have on your waist.
No.
We roll the luggage away.
It's 1,250 gold each. I had to do that.
What was
on
it?
the
1,250.
Oh, hell yeah.
250
I used
gold
my
each.
calc.
I had to do it on the calculator because I'm not very good at maths. That's why I play D&D.
Oh yeah, and also that 100 gold.
Oh, 25 each?
Do you want us to have it, or are you going to tell
Are
us
you
about
gonna
it?
are you gonna keep
Yeah.
it?
Oh, Quisp said she would pay this to us.
Aww.
Or that they would pay it to us because this is all they had. And they wanted to
Aw.
be.
We should
nice.
really send this back to Quisp.
I don't know if that would.
I don't think
We
we
should
should
do a
like
gift
that.
instead.
Yeah, we should send her something. Frankie, did you get her address?
Them.
Them's address?
Did you get them's address then, love?
You get them's address.
All right.
No, I
try
only
that.
gave them mine.
Well,
They'll write back. We have an agreement.
yeah. If you get a letter from them, let us know and we'll send them a gift.
Absolutely. That sounds like a lovely idea.
So what now? It's Friday. You don't have to go back to work today. How are you going to spend your weekend?
Oh, that's
Hey.
nice.
Karen is going to spend her weekend trying to find Uzziah Charity.
Uzziah Cherish.
Uzziah, sorry.
Charity's dead.
Charity. Stephen Charity is dead. Karen is going to spend her weekend. She's going to try and find Uzziah Cherish
Okay.
because she has a favour to ask of him.
You're actually like near the main guard station right now. So while you're in the North District, you just walk on into guard HQ.
Yeah.
You have a look at, because he's a captain, so his location and his schedule is publicly posted. You find out that he is basically set up to just be patrolling the West District today, which is where you guys are. Oh, actually the East District, which is where you guys are heading anyway, because it's kind of where you live. So yeah, you go. Does everyone else head home? We can touch on you guys individual scenes in a little bit, but just for the weekend, does anyone else want to do anything in particular?
So Ido would like to stop by the nice grocery shops in the Northern District and get some nice food because he knows his parents have been really worried about him and he's going to make them a nice dinner.
That's so good. Take 5 gold off your inventory, but yes, amazing. Love that. Flynn?
So Flynn's going to, whilst just opposite the palace, he wants to go in and then use his sales techniques and the Empress Seal to go talk to a clerk and make some sales contracts.
So the main palace is not accessible to the public, but you can go to the visitors center, I guess. Nearby there's a welcome to the grandness of the emperor type thing.
Welcome to Dulac, such a special town.
Let's do that again.
Wipe your face.
Speaking of jingles.
Flynnvar, what was it that you were hoping to achieve? You want to try and sell them some paper?
Yeah, so I just want to bank up some commissions.
Well, you do have a fairly important meeting coming up shortly, but yeah, sure. You drop a card into the information center. The really snobby clerk, you are dressed well, and the snobby clerk is "Who's this poor person here in the North District?" You are probably the most affluent out of everyone in the group, and you're still kind of a little bit looked down on for being here. But you leave your card behind, and you offer to, you leave a way to contact you if they need any paper. I'm sure they will give you a call. I'll roll a D100 on that a little bit later and see how that goes.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Karen, when you eventually do find Uzziah Cherish later in the day, what is it that you want to ask them?
I would like to ask him for access to Barbara's cell.
So, Usai Sheriff tells you that there's a certain amount of time that all prisoners are held for questioning, and at the moment, he doesn't know a lot about the case in particular, but he knows the timeline because you tell him. He says that fairly soon visitation will open up.
What day do you think I'll be able to...
Depends on how easy it is to process the crime, depends on how forthcoming she is, depends how good her lawyer is, it depends on a lot of different things. It'll be soon.
Do you think that if maybe I had a talk to her, she's, you know, an old friend of mine, do you think maybe if I had a chat to her, you would be able to get me in a little bit sooner because maybe I could get her to chat about some important things?
Never hurts to try. Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, fantastic. That is a 19 on the dice plus 4, so that's a 23.
Usai Cherish promises to submit a official request from his end, like from the guard end.
Sure.
And he tells you that that's all he can do. He's not a prison guard, so he doesn't have any like sway with the warden or anything, but he will definitely do his best to help you out in this occasion.
Thank you, Usai. It's really, I'm worried about her, but also I'm worried about her daughter, and I think it would be good to just have a little chat.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Flynn, the week after the trip, after a whole lot of back and forth, you have finally managed to rebook your appointment with the Yamir City School of Magic. An appointment that you were supposed to go to the day of the chemical errand.
Ooh.
You are currently standing at the main gate, which have rusted open, and you're waiting for someone to come and retrieve you. You're like, you know, you've got your briefcase, you've got your samples, you've got your good hat, you have got your like charisma up and ready. It is like a Tuesday just after 1, so you've had that good coffee. You are ready to sell. Although this is the first time being here in person, and not as impressive as you would have thought. A shabbily dressed person scribbling notes in a notebook comes and retrieves you, introduces himself. He's like, "Hello, my name is Professor Tommen Roubaix. You will be speaking to me about this order. Come with me." And you walk through. The wizard school campus is really worn down. It's not well maintained. The dorms are all but empty, and you can see guards coming in and out of them. Like, the dorms have been commandeered by the town guards. They can have somewhere to crash when they're like around. It's like an on-duty sleeping space. And you head into like the main foyer. There's no one behind the front desk. They're like, things are bad here.
Tumbleweed blows across the screen.
Yes, thank you. A tumbleweed comes down. It is high noon. So Tommen sits you down, puts away their notebook, and throughout this meeting they do occasionally pull it back out and write down a few more notes as they go. Hello. What can I do for you, Mr. Onagon?
Wow, this is our chance to reconnect after a while, but I want to rekindle our relationship around facilitating your needs and helping you to, you know, do the best you can for your spells and your students and whoever your other professors in...
Well, as you can tell from my demeanor, I am in desperate need of paper, which is why I've called you here today.
Your demeanor? Okay, hold.
It's him being excited.
Yeah, he's like, he looks like Droopy Dog. He's just like
incredible.
Old droopy face. He's like, you can tell I'm very excited to finally be talking to you.
And you know what? I appreciate your time and the time you're taking up from, you know, your research, and I just want to cut to the chase and just show you the packages that we have to offer around what you can onboard into your system and not waste your time and just get straight to the chase.
That sounds fantastic. I'm not at all a busy man. You see, this notebook that I'm working in, it's not any kind of research. It's a novel that I'm trying to get published. I will be embezzling some of this paper to use in my novel.
Oh, what's your novel about? Flynn just skips over there and bears like, okay.
It's about a quiet professor who meets a gorgeous elven woman and whisks her away to an enchanted forest. Thank you for asking.
What draft are you on?
This is my 14th.
So any decent writer would have at least 20 when you take away the editorials and the recommendations from a peer review. So how about we just write down an extra 200 reams on this contract, just so we account for that, because we can't stifle your creativity.
No, not at all. I definitely will be using the paper that I'm purchasing through the school accounts in order to write and publish my own book. Thank you very much.
Flynn's like flailing inside because he's like, my honesty box is shaking.
In order to continue with the school's research, we are in desperate need of quality parchment. We study electrum, and we do produce scrolls, but almost all of the teaching staff have been converted to researchers at this point. I hate research.
I was like, it's gonna let you go down the research. You know, I would, as part of this role in finding the right paper for your needs of all the professors and all the company or institute members, it's really important for me to see the material you're working with so that I can adequately gauge the types of parchment you'll need.
Yeah, sure. He basically tells you that he will need the highest quality parchment that is available, the highest quality fibers, produce the best magical effects. And he also pulls out a couple of scrolls. And by this point, you're kind of familiar with scrolls. You saw one that Barbara had on her. You found a few. You found a few in Marvelous's mansion, and like you know all about them. These aren't that good. Like the ones that you've already seen, the ones that Marvelous is producing, are way better than these. For one, the text is not glowing, and on the other ones, the text was glowing. This researcher slash teacher slash novelist seems like really proud of this work. Roll me Arcana.
Oh my gosh, I'm impressed too. 9.
It might work. Like, the main thing is that the text isn't glowing on this like you've seen in the others. You are no scroll expert. But you know an opportunity when you see one.
So I'm going to quickly try and memorize as much, or yeah, can I keep the scroll? No, he's not.
No, he won't let you keep the scroll. It's illegal to take the scroll outside of the grounds of this school.
So Flynn going to use his contract sales memory to take a mental picture of this.
Cool. It is a spell for levitate.
Ooh.
Which is a second level spell that causes things to be weightless. He mostly says that they use it to move large amounts of books from place to place. He also tells you that within the school, the researchers have an electrum budget that they are allowed to use, but they don't dare cast magic higher than cantrips around the school since the electrum budget is low. It's like 10 each per year, and you guys have been blasting through so much more than that. Yeah. So you just sit there with a straight face being like, wow, it's nice to have so much electrum. Yep. Good on you.
That is such a rare material, and
oh my god.
I would want to use more on things like identify and legend lore and spells of that type, but the Archmage gets awfully cross when we ask for more electrum to add to our electrum budget, you see.
I can see why you turn to being a world outstanding novelist if you're so stifled in your role.
Will you buy my book when it comes out? It's very good.
Time will tell. Time will tell. I'm excited.
I haven't found a title yet, but at the moment it's called The Elf, Hot Elf Babe and the Professor and the Magic Forest. I think it's a strong title.
I love when titles of books come from the story and it just evolves out of there, so, you know...
I spend 17 pages talking about how attractive she is.
That sounds right about then. That's great. That's great.
the face that Penny makes when she does this voice is truly hilarious. I can't look at you for too long because I'm gonna burst out laughing.
I don't know what face I'm making.
You're like.
Sometimes I go into the character, you know?
It's so good. It's exactly the kind of face that he would make. Okay.
Toman Rubbit is a deep and interesting character, and I feel like he probably isn't working that hard. So I'd like to finish off by making a regular quarterly amount of paper to be deposited here. How much for 10,000 sheets of paper? I don't know how much goes into a ream, but how much is 10,000 sheets every 3 months?
10,000 gold.
Yeah, what is that? So as a salesperson,
Okay,
I'd
let's
know
just
that.
have a quick talk about the paper economy of this world.
Yeah, I was like,
a
because
quick.
Flynn would know this. So.
Okay, so let's say,
And he would go on
like
a
you
sales
guys,
prep.
for a week's work, 40 hours, get paid 100 gold.
Yes.
But before you were the special chosen ones, you got paid 75 gold a week,
Yes.
which is probably a living wage.
Yes.
Okay, now, based on that, what would you expect one sheet of paper to cost? 1 silver? 1 copper? Less than that?
A sheet of paper.
1 sheet of fresh paper.
It depends on what the.
Could we not do like a ream?
Yeah.
How much is a ream? 100 sheets?
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
Been 100 and 250 or something.
And in normal world, it's
Well, it depends on the quality of the paper as well. I feel like because he's ordering the highest quality ones.
Yeah, he's
maybe
getting the expensive paper.
maybe it is like 5 gold a ream or something.
Yeah.
But maybe it would be 5 copper a ream for the cheapo stuff.
Okay, so he's getting the like high quality good paper because for some reason this guy thinks that the expensive paper and not the good like research is what makes a good scroll.
Yeah.
Also, you know, they use it for research, not just for scrolls, but they're writing books and stuff. They're working on the novels.
writing his book
He's
draft
writing his
on
romance
high
novel.
school evenings.
Well, maybe it's 10 gold a ream, and that's 100 sheets of paper. That sounds easy.
10 gold for 100 sheets. We want 10,000.
I can't do that maths.
Okay,
No.
hang on. Just so everyone knows, this is the time where we pull out our calculators
This is
to times 100 by 100.
this is the
Pretty sure it's
time.
100,000.
This is the time when Liz doesn't actually know what to put in her calculator to get the right result, so she just sits here.
Okay, so 10,000 divided by 100 sheets would be 100 reams every 3 months. How much did we say it was for a ream? 5 gold?
10 gold.
10 for the top.
Oh, 10 for the
quality.
top.
10 for the top.
Cool, that's 1,000 gold every 3 months. Hey, look at us, we actually did like something
We did
within
that.
the economy of this world. Is everyone happy with that?
I love that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Cool, there we go. That's the kind of stuff that you just don't get on other podcasts.
But this isn't a paper economy podcast. This is D&D podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I feel like at this moment, paper company, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, so 1,000 gold every 3 months ongoing for 10,000 sheets of high quality paper. And you sign and note and, get, stamped everything you need to do for that sale. And you walk out feeling like $1 million. Well, you walk out feeling like 1,000 gold every 3 months. Yeah, so there will be a commission out of that. I do not know what that is right now.
We've done enough math.
We haven't thought that far through.
No, we definitely haven't,
I
because
would put
mostly
a
we're just playing D&D.
I'd put a percentage on it to make it.
Okay, what do you think is a fair percent for you to make as the...
Well, it would be if you make a sale this much, it would be this much percent.
Okay,
I reckon 15% sounds like a pretty reasonable commission.
That's big.
that's a lot. I would say
that's quite-
5%.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know you just sold so much, I wasn't quite sure. Like, what is a reasonable amount for selling?
5%.
Yeah, I'd say 5%.
Oh my gosh.
Because like real estate agents only make like
Yeah, but they're selling like
3 or 4%.
dollars.
Some people only get 1%, but they're selling they sold the idea of the Barbie doll or something.
Well, it's 50 gold every 3 months, which when you think about it, you make 100 gold a week. Every 3 months, you just get a nice little extra, half a week bonus.
But how often will he make a 10,000 gold account? Well, maybe it is often because it's a normal business meeting.
Well,
Okay,
okay. At the moment, I think the lower sales, you get a higher percentage, but the higher sales, you get a lower percentage because it still ends up being a lot more.
Yeah, and the business would want to cap it because
Yeah,
they
I
want
guess so.
people to achieve, but they don't want to be bank.
Running themselves into
Yeah.
the ground.
Your boss specifically is don't offer extra commission bonuses to Flynn.
Yep.
He will do it.
He will do it, and he won't go home and he won't sleep. And we can't pay him 24 hours a day.
It's true. He would do that. He'd be running contractors 24 hours a day. Alright, so what was the percentage?
5%, 50 gold every 3 months. Take an extra 50 gold right now. And then once in a while, I'll just give you 50 gold when I feel like 3 months have passed.
Cool.
Flynn, you've lived up to level 6. Can you tell us about that? Are you taking the level in Bard?
Yes. Can I... Oh, I was hoping that I could have swung at that some of the... I forgot to mention it because I got caught up in the sales. But could I have seen some of my new spells that I got at the wizard store? But like not... Maybe it was like in a library book as like... I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I don't see any reason why you couldn't pick up a couple of scrolls, read over them, and committed them to memory.
Although it's pretty funny to think that they had like a cantrip and like a level 1 spell, and I'm like, oh, level 3.
Let's say they had a few like spell descriptions. Like, have you ever seen Avatar? How they have like the waterbending scrolls with like the movements and stuff that you have to make on them. Let's say that there's a couple of those scrolls up on the wall. They're collecting dust in the foyer, and on your way out, you could take a few minutes to study a couple of them because I believe at this level you're getting magical secrets. Is that right?
Yes. So I get 2 extra anybody class spells.
Which 2 are you taking?
I took Fireball because I like Flynn. Yeah, like that from having the Necklace of Fireball. And...
Last arc, you cast Fireball twice. It is not unreasonable to think that you would have learned how to do it.
Yeah. And also Absorb Elements, which is a reactional spell.
Cool, nice. And we talked about this before we started recording. You get hit by element, you absorb it into your body, and then you add it to your next attack, and you cast it as a reaction. Cool. Don't forget to call that out when you want to cast it.
Okay.
Because if we're like 2 turns later, it's too late.
Just fizz it out.
Anything else major that you get leveling up to level 6?
Oh, I also get Counter Charm.
Which I think is basically just like something to stop you from getting affected by charm. Which if you against a vampire would have been really useful.
Would have been really useful. Idopher.
He's had some time.
He has had some times.
Kia ora, Penny here. To anyone who's been waiting for this episode, sorry for the delay. This is the last one for a few months, and I hope you all enjoy it. Keep an eye on our Twitter. I don't have time for editing, but I'm still working on game stuff in the background. Expect a PDF for how to play your own game using our Electrum rules, and how to run your own chase scene to drop sooner or later. I'm also thinking about remastering the early episodes to make them a little easier to listen to. A personal message from me, to everyone who has made it this far into our show. Thank you for being here. I still love D&D and this world, and my wonderful friends who play in it, and I've always had a little moment of pride every time someone mentions to me that they like our show or that they listen to it. We're currently playing the next adventure, which is called Hivewood Bound, and after we get a little ahead and things have settled down a bit in our lives, we'll be back to posting regularly again. In the meantime, please feel free to leave us a review or tag us on social media if you have anything to say. Music credits. Thanks to Corbin Kites for Staycation, Joey Pecoraro for Jazz Apricot, the 126s for A Call Is Upon Us, Ease Jammy Jams for Three Wise People, and Joan for Bonfire and Night Runaway, Jesse Gallagher for Crystal Towers of the Moon, Nathan Moore for Crack That Case, Steve Adams for Slingshot, Esther Abrami for Number 2 Remembering Her, and Regan McKinnon for our show's theme song. And at this 1 year mark since we posted our first episode, I would especially like to thank Liv Artisan Design, our official artist and my beautiful partner. This wonderful person has never been anything other than hugely supportive of my ideas and has given me so much free art and has helped me to flesh out all the stories and locations that you guys have been hearing. I cannot thank you enough, Liv, for all the joy that you have brought me with your support. I look forward to speaking with you all again soon. But for now, let's finish what we started.
Karen, one day during the second week after your trip, you get a letter. Not left on your pillow, but in the mail. A public defender has reviewed your request for visitation for Barb and has asked you to come to the dungeons to discuss being a part of the defense. You wait till the weekend because you still have to work.
Oh yeah.
And you Saturday morning get up and head to the dungeons. You get there, you get processed for a visitation. It's not as scary as you would have thought. Like, it is kind of like a business in its own way. Like everything's real, like paperwork, systems, you get moved through a couple of cages. You do kind of get a little bit freaked out as you like move through the like safety protocols. Like no one's scanning you for magic items here.
Sure.
But you are like having to go, you know, have doors locked behind you. And part of you is kind of like, this might be me one day. Like if I get on the wrong side of the administrator and I get thrown under some kind of bus, I might end up here.
It's not the goal.
You don't go through general population. You basically get like shunted off to the side to a meeting room. It is a small stone room. There is a well-dressed halfling, blonde-haired woman, just sitting at the end of the table, just writing. Doesn't look up when you come in, just seems to be working. You gather from evidence this is probably Barb's lawyer. And on the other side of the table, wearing a blue and purple jumpsuit, and you know by now is the colors of the Emperor, sits your friend Barb. She does not look anywhere near as fabulous as usual. She's not allowed to make up hair. Her hair has become knotted. Like she's definitely not being abused, but she's not like, she doesn't have access to like her regular beauty regime that she would be doing at home.
Sure.
She just looks down.
Oh, Barb. Will you let me comb your beard?
The lawyer looks up and is like, just no passing contraband.
Of course.
Verona Victory.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you. My name's Karen. Karen Stonecutter of the Stonecutter family, of course. You would know them.
And then the lawyer turns and like slides a single gold piece over to Barb and is like, 10 seconds. You said that, yeah.
Oh, Barb, you know me too well. Karen is going to... So, the dwarven grooming is very important to dwarves. So she's going to take out her little folding comb and just go over to Barb and start combing out her hair and combing out her beard, just making her look nice and clean again.
Cool.
And as she does that, she says, Barb, I'm so sorry it had to happen like this. You know this isn't what I wanted. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about the party. I'm sorry about Janderson Sr.
Darling, none of that was your fault. You didn't know. I never told you what happened to Maureen. And you didn't know anything about it. Why on earth would you think that I asked you here to apologize?
Because I'm your friend, and I should have known. And I should have been able to help you long before the party.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I never told you. I'm sorry that I acted fine. I'm sorry that I didn't ask you for help, and I'm sorry that I used you to literally murder somebody. And the lawyer looks up and's like, what are you doing? No, what did we talk about? Admission of guilt. Okay, I didn't hear that.
And neither did I.
I'm going to get up and leave.
Okay.
And the two of you can have some girl time. What the fuck? Just gathers up her papers and heads on down the hallway.
It was good to meet you, Miss Victory. Oh, she's nice. How's the trial going? Is it? I mean, there must be something you can do. It's not like he was a good person.
Yeah, they don't really take that into account when the charge is murder.
Well,
look, I'm being treated as well as can be expected.
Good.
I did get caught using legal magic in the city, which is a pretty big no-no around here.
Yes, I actually wanted to talk to you about that. I mean, your lawyer's not here now, and I doubt they can listen in as the walls are pretty thick. Where on earth did you get that scroll from?
I bought it from a criminal who was working for another criminal. I don't know. I went into a dark alleyway and there were people with suspenders and flat hats and they sold me a magic piece of paper and I didn't believe it would work.
But then it did, yes.
But then it did. And once you've started that kind of thing, you can't really cut it off anymore.
That's
So
I know about that more than you might imagine.
I paralyzed him, and Stephen Charity drowned him in the punch.
Oh.
And then you killed Stephen Charity.
Yeah, that one was... I don't really have a good excuse for that one. He just knew what I'd done, and I was worried he was going to throw me under the bus.
Well...
Plus, he's kind of a twat, you know?
He was kind of a twat. God, he probably should never have been hired before my time. I never would have hired him. Anyway, did they tell you anything about who they were, what gang they were working for?
They don't really wear, like, name badges or anything. I think
They were all wearing suspenders.
On the off chance that the people that they are selling to get arrested and then they can be identified, they really don't spend a lot of time. Look, they said that they worked for someone named Marvelous, but, like, who the hell knows who that is? We work for a paper company. I don't know about you, but I don't know all the crime bosses in the city.
Well, Karen kind of looks a little bit sheepish and she says, well, thank you for telling me. I won't bring that up with anybody, but it's good to know that you aren't somehow manufacturing magical goods in the city.
Like I would know how. Karen, my lawyer and I have a request for you.
Of course.
I have something that I want to ask you.
Yes, anything.
And I don't want you to think badly of me for it.
Of course.
I want you to testify against the Jennison Breford's Parchment Company at my court case.
Okay.
They drove me to this. You know what they did was wrong. They took someone who attacked children and they swept it under the rug, and then as soon as the probation time was over, they invited him back without even talking to me about it.
And they didn't even tell any of us about it either.
No. Jennison Breford is a bad person.
Jennison Breford Sr. is a bad person.
What are you doing?
Jennison Breford Jr. has just set up a new charity to help victims like your daughter. He wants to make amends for what his father did.
He shouldn't dare bring my daughter into his money-making schemes.
Karen's like, oh.
If you don't let him do this, he's trying to smooth everything over and make it seem like he's part of the solution, but he's not.
I don't think Jennison Breford Jr. knew anything either.
He knows now.
He does, and he's trying to make it something better. Trying to be better than his father.
So you won't testify in my case?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that not everybody at the top is bad. But I do believe that you deserve justice from the board members. They were the ones who did this to you and your daughter. I would testify against the board.
I don't know that it works that way, but I know how loyal you are to that company.
Jennison picked me up out of the very dark spot, junior, not senior. You know, he didn't ever talk to any of us. But when that little gnome was just getting his start, he saw something in me that I hadn't seen in a very long time, and you know. But I understand.
What's that thing that they say about sins of the father?
Something about that. I've never heard that saying before in my life.
Has anyone heard that saying before?
Yeah, it's like sins of the...
Yeah,
something
it's
about it
somebody
being-
always says to me every single time, they go, you know that saying about sins of the father? And I go, yeah, and I've never heard it before.
I'm fairly sure it's supposed to be like sins of the father are not sins of the child or whatever, but I think in like...
How does it go?
I don't know.
None of
what I'm
them
saying? It doesn't have an end?
Yeah.
I'm going to Google it.
Father.
It
Sins of the
seemed like
father.
the thing for Barbara to say, but
You know
now
what they say.
Penny, who don't know the rest of the saying, feel a little embarrassed.
No,
People
it's
who
fine.
don't know.
I also don't know that. Sins of the father from Runefest wiki.
Oh no, that's RuneScape. That's not the saying.
The soul who sins shall die. The son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the father, nor the father suffer for the iniquity of the son. It's like your sins are
Okay,
your
so
own, it's not your
what your
family's.
dad does is not your problem.
Yeah.
And also what you do isn't your dad's problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Well, you know, I just learned something about that saying. I've been using it all wrong.
your sins are your own, they're not your family's. Which I believe not only is a comfort for Jansen Breffers Jr., but might be for you as well.
Karen, I have just one more thing for you.
Of course.
Your friend, Flynn, I think he knows magic too. I was dying. I got stabbed by a big sword, and I don't have a single scar on me, and he was right there.
Please don't tell anyone about that.
Do you know about this?
Please don't tell anyone about Flynvar. He's a good person. He was just trying to help you.
Karen, you've leveled up.
Yay!
What do you get at level 6?
So I am taking a new totem. I'm taking the tiger totem.
Ooh.
Because Karen is fierce and loyal and she will defend her own.
Like a tiger.
Like a tiger. Tigers are loyal, right? I'm from New Zealand. I've seen a tiger. So not only do I gain proficiency in a couple more things, I also can jump 3 foot higher and 10 foot further.
You are
while
4
ranging.
feet tall, so that is impressive.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
Cool, okay.
And I also can range an additional time a day. And I think that's all I get for level 6.
Not going to help you very much when you only have 1 Electrum left, but...
It's true, but I have recently learned that Murphy probably sells Electrum.
Well, you've never asked him, have
We've
you?
never asked him.
I was gonna ask him.
Yeah.
Hello, boy.
So that's it. That's where you get level 6.
Yeah, I'm now. I have a bear
Basketball
totem,
player.
and I have a and I have a shark totem.
Cool. Wait, shark?
Shack.
I thought you picked tiger, not shark.
What's another shack? You know, the
Basketball player?
the basketball guy.
The big boy.
Yeah.
With the sharp
He
teeth and
seems
the
so
like
nice.
big fins.
Yeah,
and
and
swims around the ocean.
and the smooth skin.
Yeah.
His skin is very
Shaq,
smooth.
if you ever want to like say hi, totally feel free to.
Idopher,
Hello.
you are looking for Amity, is that correct?
Well, I assume he'll be looking for me.
So you spend a lot of time over the coming weeks sitting alone in that same bar, drinking the same tea, and hoping that Amity might return to talk to you.
Fucking loser.
You do get like chatted up by a few different people of varying genders and races. So you actually do like make some creepy friends
Wicked.
at this place.
I love that for myself.
Yeah.
For 4 weeks, you go to this place every day to sit and drink in peace and nothing. And then one day, almost a month since you returned from Ixingnia, you're on your way home from the bar and you hear a voice call out to you from a dim alleyway. Habitual drinking is bad for you, you know.
It's literally tea. I'm not even looking at him yet.
You're like a cat. You're like, come and pay attention to me, and they're like, okay, and you're
Like
like
a cat.
no.
Hello, Idopher.
I would turn around. Hello, Amity. You've taken a while.
I've been kind of busy, but I'm glad that you seem to be eager to speak some more.
Busy stealing other people's bags?
No, I have servants to do that for me.
Why didn't you just ask? Didn't need that mole kid. Just stealing my shit.
You have some things of mine. They've always been mine, and I don't think it up to you to decide whether or not you give them back to me.
Alright then, what have I got of yours?
Do you remember the name that was written on the case that had those beautiful, gorgeous pieces of jewelry that you once put on?
No.
Well,
But I can guess it's the name.
it's the name Amity Shul.
Yeah.
My name.
It's in the notes.
Noise.
Those necklaces that you wear once belonged to me. Seems only fair that I should be allowed to reclaim them.
Interesting you were trying to steal the bag though. They weren't in the bag. And I'm sure you would have known that.
I can't do anything about the ones you wear, but there should be another. I'm sorry I tried to steal from you without talking to you first. The truth is more complicated than you might expect.
Look, I do know where the other amulet is, but what?
Talk to me.
Yeah, talk to me, man. Like, what is your plan with this? Is it sinister? Should I be worried?
I'm going to change the world.
That is so vague. Gonna change the world. Yeah, a lot of people have said that.
Unless you're willing to come on board, I'm afraid you are not someone that I'm going to spill all of my secrets to. If you'd like to, you can join Mol. You can learn to upgrade your magic, and if you want, you can learn from him how to transform to animals. There are many things that I could give to you. You don't have to stay here.
I'm not gonna give up my freedom like that. But I want that. What can I do? Where am I?
What do you mean?
What is my situation here? How can I get that without becoming your subordinate?
You're already a subordinate, Idopher. Would you rather pick up garbage at a paper company or help a revolutionary change the world?
Give me some time to think about that.
Fair enough. It would be nice to have you around some more.
He's so creepy.
He's a bit creepy. Where's Mole anyway?
Oh, he's around. You and your friends gave him a bit of a wake-up call, so he's sulking.
I do feel a little bit bad about that.
I'm sure he won't be far away.
And I look around for any like animals that have white
Roll
faces.
perception.
I hope he's sulking and not like sulking in a dungeon somewhere getting punished.
Yeah, there's an 18.
You have a pretty good look around. Like, you check, there's a few birds and stuff, but like, it's pretty easy to tell now that you know what you're looking for. Like, if there was a dog around, you could tell if it was Mole or not.
Yeah.
You don't see any animals. Amity appears to have come alone.
Okay.
So, did you ask anything of the box?
Yeah. I did. Was it you?
Was what me?
I think... Did you poison Quisp's father?
I don't know who that is.
Of course you don't. I guess you don't keep a track of all your victims.
Salty team coming
Vicious
through.
vicious mockery.
I have a list that is grander than you could possibly know.
Oh god.
What was his name? Brum.
Because... So that makes me think the amulets weren't really like they weren't his to begin with, but he put them in a nice box that had his name on it.
Hey, you can put anything in a box with your name on it. Doesn't make it
Exactly
yours.
right.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
No, it's not. That's not true.
100% true. I've said it. It's true.
It is law now.
All right. So we're just standing in a dark alleyway.
He's just sitting, smiling. He, enjoys your company. Like, he seems relaxed. You've got no idea what, because you're so hostile in all your body language and everything.
Very creepy.
And he's just sort of like hanging out, and then he just says to you, I heard you ran into Master Spec recently.
Yeah, you guys must know each other, right?
Oh, he's a handsome man.
He's not bad looking, but that's not the point. Is he... Look, we're trying to determine who the threats are in this city. Are you one of them? Is he one of them?
It depends on who you think is a threat.
Oh dear God.
This is our second time meeting, and I've not laid a hand on you. I've not caused you any harm, so what do you consider to be a threat, Idopher?
I'm considering that perhaps you could become a threat.
I mean, so could you. Depending on who you ask, I'm sure there are a lot of people who would consider a tiefling wielding magic power and shooting fire from his fingertips to be a threat.
Ido feels kind of flattered about that. He's like, well, feels a bit special, yeah? I'm a spicy boy. Well, are we going to talk again?
Would you like to?
Ideally.
If you ever change your mind about joining my little band, there's a place for you. maybe not your companions, but I could certainly find some things for you to do.
We're going to keep in contact.
He is having a little trouble breathing at this point. He's like, his breathing has been getting like raspier as you've been having this conversation, and he breaks into like a coughing fit, and he reaches into his pocket, and he's kind of like blast it, and then he says blast it, and then he pulls out like a little piece of wood and metal. It's like a little L-shaped thing, like an L-shaped tube.
It's an inhaler.
Yeah, and he puts it to his mouth, clicks in the top, and breathes, like does his best to like breathe in deeply. And when he exhales, there's like this sparkly blue, like gas escapes from his mouth.
Wait, what was that?
Life.
Me.
Right, yeah. Me after like trying to run.
Oh, I'm just vaping. Don't worry about it.
Not quite like a not like a vape. Like the remains of like a gas that he was.
Yeah. Like when you do the inhaler and.
Roll me some Arcana.
Okay.
Bet it's made up of tiefling eyes.
No.
He said it was live.
Yep.
A 13.
It's the same color as Blue Electrum. It's got that same kind of like crackly, vibe to it.
How old are you?
I'm an elf. We live for a long time.
So vague yet again. Okay.
Okay, fine. I am 199 years old.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool to know.
How old are you?
How old am I? Like 18?
Yeah, I think you said
I think I'm
18 before.
18.
You're 18.
I'm 22.
You are such a bad liar.
Yeah, well,
Do me a favor. Next time you bump into Mole, be a little nicer to him. He's sensitive.
Man, fuck that guy.
sort of.
He's not used to having conversations with people other than me, because the last time, one of the last times he spoke with Yamir, they threw acid in his face.
Oh, I do feel a bit bad now. Yeah, we did kind of.
We all thought he was pretty cool.
You can tell Mole that we thought he was pretty cool.
I'll pass that along.
I'd be happy to meet up with him again.
We will speak again, Idopher Belsa. I'd like to hear your answer.
Would you go out with me, yes or no?
And he gets up and he smiles down at you. And it's a weird smile, because like you're a stranger, but he's given you this like weird, like familiar, like
Buddy.
Yeah. I guess I'll see you next time. If you want to find me, I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Okay, well, next time I'm not going to be going to the bar by myself for a whole month.
Just wait. I'll find you.
All right.
Don't call me, I'll call you.
Oh my god, what am I, like a booty call?
Yes!
And with that, he gets up and he's kind of shaky on his feet, and he walks off around the corner. And by the time you like peek out to like see where he's going, he's just gone.
I really need to sort myself out.
You do, and luckily you have a whole new level up to do that with.
Hey!
So, what does level 6 give to Idopher?
So Ido's going to multi-class.
Ooh!
Where are you headed to, Idopher?
He wants to get a level in Druid.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you're going to be Rogue 5, Druid 1.
Yeah.
What does that give you?
Not a whole lot. I get some Druid cantrips and some Druid spells, which I haven't quite figured out yet.
Cool.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
have a
take
proper
your time.
look
You
at
can
this.
pick them later. Is this because you want wild shape? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I have to. I had to assume that you just want to be a cat most of the time.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we can assume that that's what I'll end up being.
Quick question, because it's been a month that we've been working, do we get an extra 400 gold?
Yeah, so I was going to say, that's part of the thing. It's been a full month after your trip that you managed to group together and get to Murphy's Honest Goods. You've all had scheduling conflicts and other obligations that have kept you busy, but here you are with 4 extra weeks pay in your pocket, walking into the shop. Yanis smiles as you enter and points you in the direction of a bookcase.
Ooh.
You're expecting it to open up or vanish or like change shape, But it doesn't. Nothing happens. And you turn back to ask your niece what's up. And when you do, it's Murphy sitting in his usual back room, chuckling and smoking a cigar. Hey, I love this entrance. I fooled you. Ha! My friends, what can I do for you?
I love Murphy so much.
Every time, Murphy, you get us every time.
Are you here to spend more gold in my fabulous store?
Absolutely, and we're here to get some information as well.
Oh, well, you know, I broker many things. By the way, speaking of which, how are these new weapons treating you?
Pretty freaking good.
She's pretty snazzy.
Murphy, you've outdone yourself, darling.
What can I say? I do feel like I know you pretty well by that point.
I think so too. You know, I am a little bit jealous because Frankie's one is so good, but I probably couldn't fire that.
You know, my one actually, I'm the biggest fan of Flynn's. It's like a cool sword, it's got a big smile on it, you can insult people with it.
That is very good.
It is an interesting little piece of tech.
Yeah, and he loves it.
So is that
He's used it so many times.
It's all he uses now. See, that's the sound it makes.
So it's shopping time.
Absolutely.
What have you got this time, Murphy?
Feel free to look at the Murphy's Honest Goods catalog and have a look at what you like and what you don't like.
I'm obsessed with this one, which says skeleton key for 100 gold. Lets you dominate and command 1d4 skeletons for 1d4 hours, 1 per day use. Note, does not work on the skeletons inside living beings. I checked.
I checked.
Yeah, I kind of had to put a disclaimer on that one because people kept thinking that they could like turn around and use it to control me, and it just stupid.
Ido runs towards an item called Dome of Clownfish, and he just thinks it's so cute. He's like, oh my god, what are these adorable little things?
So it's a glass dome with tiny transparent clownfish swimming around a piece of coral. The description says if you shatter the dome, the clownfish will think you are its coral and will flit around you to a distance of 15 feet for 10 minutes. Hostile creatures who enter the field of the clownfish will start a turn there must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage. That is a single use of the spell Spirit Guardians.
Got it.
Oh my god, and the clownfish.
And they take the form of clownfish, yeah.
Clownfish on your cure.
Flynn, Frankie, do you guys have your eye on anything in the new pile?
Flynn picks up the braces of sacrifice. So that he picks up these braces, he kind of looks and he's like, oh, I always get smashed in the butt, in the face, the coffee, and he's like,
Ooh, smashed you in the face with coffee.
Oh yeah, rough out of town experience. Let's
No, I said who?
Yep. So there was a dragonborn involved, and it was big.
Dragonborn, man, that was a cool little adventure you guys had.
Big T-Rex. Yeah.
I feel like Frankie would be like, wasn't it you that splashed yourself?
It was a tough time.
What did I use? He says as he's playing with the extra bone.
Yeah, it's like
So the bracer of sacrifice, inside this bracer, it has artwork depicting internal blades, but they seem to be just pictures. When you hit a creature with a weapon or a spell attack, you can sacrifice 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12 HP. You may roll 1 dice of the corresponding number and add the number rolled to your damage dealt.
yeah.
Pretty good.
So it lets you sacrifice HP for damage if that's something that you're interested in doing.
What's that you've got there, Frankie? That looks ominous.
Frankie's just like, I don't know, playing with the extra bone because he's looking at 2 because he wants 2. So he's playing with the extra bone, and I'm like, this is just a bone that may come in handy if I ever need to. He's gonna try and make a joke, but he can't.
Can you please read the description of an extra bone?
A handy-looking bone that wants to swap places with any broken bone and live inside you. It will probably be weird about it.
Frankie, that's pretty weird. Are you sure? I'm not telling you how to spend your money. Murphy, I'm looking for Electrum.
Well, you know, it's funny that you should mention that, actually. Why don't you guys spend your money, buy your items, and then we'll have a chat about that. I don't have any to sell you right now is the short answer to that, but there is more.
Okay.
But help me make some money first, and then we'll talk about that.
Of course.
Murphy, we have some items that we've come across, and we need to know what they are. I was wondering if you can help us out.
Yeah, sure. I have my scales of identify right here. If you want to just line up, pop them on. You know what? I'll give you a couple of freebies, and then after that, look, it costs me nothing to operate this thing, so.
But you gotta make money somehow. He says from like the back.
And we come back and buy lots of
And Karen goes,
Oh,
Look,
sorry.
I make money when you guys buy things from me. And, like, tell you what, hand him over. Hand him
You
over.
shot me in the butt. No. And I didn't like it.
There are so many innuendos happening today.
So Flynnvar like rustles. Oh, well, no, he's not rustles the bag of holding. He opens the bag of holding and he pulls out some items that he's had since the get-go that kind of forgot about, but he's doing an inventory because he's systematic, but Nate is not. So he puts a stone that shimmers like a pearl.
I immediately know what that is. I actually have a pair of those in my new stock. And he like holds it up, and then he holds up two more that look exactly like it, and he's like, "This is a sending stone, my dude.
Oh, just
This
one?
is only one half of the pair, though. This is useless to me without the other one. Who has the other one?
I don't know who has the other one. How do we find that out?
Have you tried talking into it?
I mean, no.
Okay, well, this is a sending stone. I don't even need to identify this.
Okay, well, thanks for that.
And he throws it over to you.
Puts it back in the bag. And then there's this kind of weird-shaped stone.
more rocks.
Is that the grapefruit-sized
Grapefruit,
stone?
that Flynn assumed was an egg shape, but it's not.
I've never seen anything like that before. Let's toss it on the scales and see what it does.
I'm hoping it's a dragon egg,
And he puts it on the scales.
and not a dragonborn egg.
I don't think this is magic.
What? Oh, what is it?
I mean, it might be a dragon egg. I've never seen one before, but it's not an enchanted item. The scales aren't pinging. What else you got?
How do we find out what it is then? Do we just try and hatch it?
Have you tried breaking it?
It's stone.
Have you tried breaking it?
You can break stone, Flynnvar. My family name is Stonecutter. We actually do cut stone every day. That's our job.
Does anyone have a spell to see through things?
Why are you looking at me? I don't do spells. I just hit things.
How to do
Hey, I'm a magic item collector, not a rock.
Okay, alright. I'll find a gemist.
You got anything else?
Gymnast. Yes, I do. Because I have lots of things. This cool whispering. This bracelet. Is it a bracelet? The antler thing.
So you hand over, it's a bracelet that you found that was called Wisteria's Antlers.
Oh, Wisteria.
Oh, yeah.
And he pops it on the scale. He's like, oh, okay, here we go. This one is actually something that I can do something with. It says it makes you better at dealing with animals. The item description is it's a +2 to animal handling checks.
Ah, that's quite cool.
If you want to sell this to me, I give you 400 gold.
100 gold each, or one of us can speak to animals?
It's not a speak to animals, it's just +2 to
two.
animal handling checks.
+2.
Well, I can already speak to animals. I've done it before. It was extremely strange, but I can do it. So, does anybody else want to be able to chat to a cat with me? Or is that correct? Is that what that does?
No, so it's more for like taming things.
Oh.
I don't think it will like let you speak the language of animals, but it probably is better for getting to like you.
Oh.
So, like farm animals that might.
Well, any animals really.
Jaguars?
Yes, farm animals, but also other types.
T-Rexes?
I mean, sure.
Centipedes?
I mean,
Sure.
I don't need it. Does anybody else?
I don't really need it. I'm fine.
I would like to sell it.
Cool, 400 gold. Here you go.
Yee,
Cool,
thanks.
so you guys get an extra 100 each. All right, who wants to buy something?
I would like to buy the 150 gold leaf powder.
Oh, right down from the bargain bin?
Right down from the gargan bin.
Gargan.
Gargan
gang.
Okay. So, a black tin labeled leaf containing a small white pouch made of porous fabric.
Yes.
A bluish dust puffs through the pouch when shaken. If the dust is inhaled, the victim saves for intelligence against a DC of 15. On a failed save, the victim forgets everything that happened in the last 24 hours.
Yes.
Oh, that's exactly the same as another new item that I've got.
But that one isn't, it doesn't have a DC check, it just does it.
Yeah, so there's also the Forget Me stick, which if you hit an unconscious person with the stick, it will cause them to lose their memory of the previous 24 hours. Okay,
I'll grab the leaf powder.
You want the leaf powder? Is there anything else that you want?
Yes, I would also like, I want to get the alchemy jug, but it's too expensive.
Oh, too bad somebody couldn't make that for you.
That's true, that's true. I suppose so. I want the smuggler's shoes, please. A pair of shoes that, when attuned to, will allow the user to disguise their footprints or tracks with that of any animal they've seen.
Cool. Yeah, that's 650 gold.
650
The
gold.
leaf powder is 150 gold. So that comes to 800 total. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Nope, that's all from me.
Cool.
Can Flynn also get 2 potions of healing?
Yeah, sure. Do I have them on this list? Yeah. So they're 75 gold each, single use, 1d8 plus 2 healing. Yep, you can get 2 of those. That's totally fine. So 75 plus 75, 150. Is there anything else that you'd like to buy?
Oh, I got the braces of Six Breath, so.
Of course, that's 1400 as well. So that's 1550. Frankie.
Frankie walks up and he's got like several things. So he's gonna get the extra bone, an extra bone. The book of book eating. You can open the book up, lay another printed material inside, and close the book. The printed material disappears, but whatever was written on it can later be read in the magic book if you ask nicely.
Cool. So that's 900 for the book of book eating, 1000 for the extra bones. That's 1900 so far.
And he's also going to get the orb of advice. So it's a crystal ball made mostly of obsidian, might just be a magic 8 ball, may or may not contain a djinn, whispers cryptic and non-useful advice when shook.
That's in the bargain bin, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. Ooh, he's like, ooh.
Okay, so that is 2050 gold.
Okay, and then Frankie's also going to be like, hey, Murph, come here.
Oh, what do you got for me?
Friend.
Is this my first supply item?
is.
What are we doing?
I've made you Eyes of Charming.
Oh, this is interesting. And he takes them and he puts them on the scales of Identify. And he takes a minute and he's like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Do you want cash or do you want discount?
Discount.
How would you feel about 450?
You know what? Deal, because I know business and money.
Thank you very much. So that brings you down to 1600 gold in total.
Nice.
And Frankie winks because he's trying to be charming, but he don't know how.
Cool. Make sure you copy paste these items over to your inventory. And last but not least, my young, handsome friend Idopher. Your horns are looking great today, my dude.
Thank you, Murphy, my dude. This whistle of bird sounds really interesting. Plus 10 on animal handling checks when attempting to command birds, 1 times use per day.
Yeah. So yeah, it is literally once per day. You can have a really good roll at trying to tell birds what to do.
That sounds awesome to me because I like to control things. So I'm going to buy that.
Cool, that's 900 gold for Whistle of Bird.
And I also just want to grab 4 potions of healing.
Cool, that would be 300 gold. Yeah. You go down a lot, it's probably a good idea to have a few of those around. Is there anything else that you would like to buy today?
At this time, no.
Okay. Well, my friends, as usual, it has been a pleasure doing business with you. Please enjoy your bric-a-brac and various magical eccentricities. Now, there was one other thing that we need to talk about. I have a deal that I've been meaning to seek out. It's a contact that could open up an Electrum trade into the city. There's currently, as far as I know, no way to buy Electrum here. It all comes in, it's like smuggled in, people steal it from each other, but there's no way for me to get my hands on it, gold for goods type of thing. So, I haven't had the time or the muscle to go and actually meet with this guy, but if you guys are interested, how would you like to accompany me to the hives?
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds awesome.
What's our take on this sales contract?
We can talk about that.
Karen?
Oh, well, I haven't been back to the hives in a very long time.
Are you from there?
Do you have a summer home?
The cave home?
Well, here's the thing. I mostly just wanted Flynn because he's a good deal maker. He's a great salesman. But the rest of you might come in handy too. You all have your skills. You guys got any vacation days saved up?
I mean,
Yes.
yes, of course.
It may take a while to get this done, but if we're successful, you can come to me to buy your Electrum.
That does sound pretty sweet.
Yes. Frankie says, opening up his homemade peanut brittle Forgetting that. Snakes again.
I whisper to Karen, like, Karen, you'll be fine, right?
Murphy, what's the name of this, what's the family name of this one?
His name's Asus Diamond Heart.
Oh, the Diamond Hearts, yes.
Shiny.
Do you think we'll go anywhere near the Gold Seekers?
Well, to get there, I have to go to the forge, and then underground from there.
It's just that I don't really want to see my mother again.
Well, do you think you could just not see her?
You can just close your eyes.
We could use a disguise self
Frankie's got a
spell.
point.
She has a way of finding out.
Is she a good cook?
No.
Look, I have never been to the hives before. It actually would be really helpful to have someone who knows their way around, maybe has a couple of contacts. As I understand, you being a stonecutter is probably both a help and a liability, so...
Well, Murphy, I mean, I was the one who asked you about the Electrum. I am the one who grew up there. My mother was supposed to be a queen.
Oh.
And I ruined that for her. So, going back to the hives might be a bit more problematic than you think.
Oh. I do still have to go there, though, so... I mean, you don't have to come.
No.
This could be a great time to fix the relationship.
Oh, well,
Does she like paper?
no.
Oh.
She likes gold.
Oh.
It's in the name, Gold Seeker.
Is that your maiden name?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
It's not.
Oh.
He's like, oh, okay.
One thing you have to understand about the hives, Murphy, is that, well, you have a head for business and a head for work.
I like to think so.
You haven't seen anything yet. Nobody works like a hive dwarf does. And it's been the death of them.
That sounds cryptic.
Plimla's like, this is ticking over in his head and he's kind of getting excited. He's like, Karen, what if we go on official business and have a commission for your mother's family? Because in the paper mill, right, they smash down the paper. We need good stone, mortars, paper
I
mortars.
might just drag Flynn back, 'cause I feel like you're just making the situation a bit more confusing.
We can get her money, right?
Oh, the dwarves and the hives don't care about money. You just said the only thing they care about is work.
More work then.
So you all agree, some of you kind of reluctantly, to accompany Murphy south to the hives and to meet his contact. He's not yet sure when you're going to leave, so for now, with low Electrum stocks and nothing pressing on your plate, it's time to head home and let things get back to normal. As you leave and you walk off together, feeling the last days of summer, trying to keep up the warmth you've gotten used to, we drift back a little. Not far, just to the bushes across from Murphy's Honest Goods. The same bushes that an enormous goose once burst out of with murder on its mind. A person is sitting in these bushes, watching. They adjust the goggles they're wearing and hold their focus on the four of you walking side by side back towards your homes. A malicious grin spreads across the face of this person as they pull out a notebook and start writing. Only 3 words. I found them. Okay, looks like they're gone. Couldn't have left me a pastry. Whatever, I'm only in charge of securing your freedom. Verona Victory here, Yamir City Defense Attorney. Thank you for listening to the show. And for the love of the gone, if you are arrested for murder, please do not admit it out loud in front of someone who is sure to be involved in that case. This is day one stuff, people.